switch on my
Let
let me switch on my video so that you can see me. I'm not sure if you can, but this is how I look like. I'm a real person, not just a voice on the other side. And then for the purposes of saving bandwidth, I'll switch off my video and then get to the presentation. So the topic that I was given today is on setting goals. And I suppose this is because we are starting a new year and you need to know how to approach the year ahead. So we can go to the next slide. So firstly, before we even start in actually talking about goals and setting goals, we need to know what a goal is. And if you think about the analogy of sports, there are team players in a team. There is no individual who can score a goal by themselves without the team. However, when it comes to life, each person has to set their own goal for their life. But once they set that goal for their life, what then happens going forward? They then need to hold themselves accountable, but also have somebody else who's going to hold them accountable for their own goals or hold each other accountable. We all have dreams. Dreams don't have any deadline. You can have a dream that you want to be a billionaire, and you can say you want to be a philanthropist, but if you don't have a deadline, it's just a dream. But once you put a deadline into it, it changes and it becomes a goal. And once it becomes a goal, it then requires something from you to achieve. Now, the people may say that somebody can say they want to be the most famous criminal on earth. That is not a goal. It's just simply foolishness. A goal is you saying you want to do something positive or constructive with your life. Maybe you have childhood traumas that you want to heal from, and you need to see a therapist, a social worker, or a counselor. Then you need to say, if I want to heal and move forward in my life and see a social worker, then I need to research where can I find a social worker. From there, when can I make an appointment, and when then can I go and see the social worker and commit to going to them, to the sessions every certain day or week or month, so that you put that in place. And the beauty about things is you have to write them down. So we'll go to the next slide. Now, every morning, literally every morning, 365 days a year, I write these morning messages, which I send out before 7 a.m. so that when someone wants to start their day, they start their day with the right thinking for the right mindset. This is today's morning thought. It talks about the beginning, that most of us know someone who takes their time in planning something. It is either we know someone or are that someone who plans extensively. And planning extensively mean that you get down to the details and you say, I want A, B, C, and D. I want this to happen. From there, I want that to happen. My plan includes this. This is this much I need to have in order to get to this point. And we get bogged down into the details of the planning, but we never really get to begin with the plan and put it into action, right? So, however, the plan may be elaborate, however illustrious your plan can be, and however good your plan may be, if you don't put it into action, it remains just that, a plan. Now, what that means is you have to have a beginning. So you need to say, at some point, I need to begin with this process of implementing the plan. We'll then go to the next slide. Now, what's the importance of setting goals and when to set goals and what are limitations on goals? These are the three things that I want us to talk about. Firstly, if you don't set goals, you find yourself just cruising through life, becoming a dream. So for the boys or for the males, if you always dream and you dream of these big houses, you dream of this type of car, driving a hypercar. All right, somebody just commented about the volume. Does everybody else hear me clearly?
I can hear you, Mr. Kunene.
Okay, thank you. Right. So what I was saying is, as a male, as a man, or as a young man, if you're always dreaming, yes, you may attract certain people in your life, but if you never put anything into action, you remain a dreamer. And nobody wants to fall in love with a dreamer because dreams don't put bread on the table. Dreams don't build houses. But goals are different. If you put a goal, if you set a goal, for example, let's say you are in high school right now and you say, when I get to my matric year, I want to achieve distinctions in all my module, in all my subjects. Then you have a goal and you have a timeline, and a distinction is anything higher than 75%. So if you go 75% and above, then you would have achieved a distinction. So you already know how much you need to attain in terms of your marks or in terms of your performance. What you then do, you work backwards. You then say, in order for me to achieve that goal, it's no longer now just a dream, it's no longer now just a plan. In order for me to achieve that goal, that dream, this is what I then need to do. How do I get to obtain distinctions? That's it. I need to study. And how do I make my studying better? I need to pay attention in class. I need to pay attention when the lessons are delivered so that I can be able to retain and revise and review whatever it is that I've studied for the day. So already you have a plan in place. And then you say, so that's where I need to be, but where am I now? So you then need to take yourself from where you are now to where you want to go. And then you implement your beginning starts. This is the beginning. And then you move forward from there. Oftentimes, the ideal time to start to plan or to set goals is most of us want to do it in the beginning of the year. But I would like to put it to all of us here and say the beginning of the year is usually late because you are going with everybody else. You are going with the flow. You are going with the New Year's resolutions. And how many of us have actually gotten to the point where we do achieve and follow through with our New Year's resolutions? Very seldom. So, what you do is come the end of the year, you review the current year, let's say in November, before any excitement starts. At the end of November, you sit down with yourself, with your friends, you say, and then you say, this is what I have achieved this year. This is what I've done this year. Am I happy with what I've done? Am I happy with the effort that I've done? So then if you are not happy, then you can review. But if you are, and then you say, how can I build upon what I've done now? And then make sure that I have a plan, make sure that I have a plan for the following year, and then set goals. So you start setting goals, and usually we think of goals as things that are big, that are huge, that we need to now kind of like put 10 things for the end of the year. No. Challenge yourself. Set one big goal for the year and then break it down into 4 parts. Then you know that for the first 3 months of the year, you are focused on getting to this milestone in your goal. And then the next 3 months, you are doing this much in the next 3 months, and then up until you get to the end of the year. Because then you are able to measure your goals. What have you done? You've set that already in the previous year or in the previous period, and you simply just review. Now, let's further break it down. When you then have your 1 year goal, you then break it down into sections of four, which is 3 months each. And then within those 3 months, you further break it down into 1 month and say, in 1 month, I need to do this. And then you further break it down into a weekly goal. That weekly goal, you further break it down into a daily goal. So you know now that each and every day, this is what I have to do. So you start small. A typical example, if you want to lose weight, you don't just say, I want to lose 10 kg next year, and then you go into next year and then you just cruise. Or I want to build muscles and be healthy and be firm and all of those things. What you simply do is, tomorrow, I just want to get up and get out of the house and take a walk. You don't think about the running. You don't think about anything. You just, firstly, today, I want to, or maybe let's say tomorrow, I want to get up at this time. Once you are up at that time, you think, okay, this I've achieved. This is success, because success is setting a goal and achieving it. So you've achieved that goal for the day. And then you think, what would happen if I go outside? You put on your shoes and you step outside. You look at how outside is and you think, okay, I'm here outside. I might as well just take the next step and take that walk. That walk, don't even think of a kilometer. Start very small. Take one step and say, let me just go around the block and see what happens. You go around the block, you come back, you don't push yourself. You say, you know what, today I've achieved. I managed to wake up, to get out of the house, to get out of the yard or wherever, and I managed to actually go around the block. Okay, tomorrow the goal is to repeat what I did today. Again, you have another goal for tomorrow. Tomorrow you come back, you wake up the same time, you do that. So you force yourself into repeating what you did the previous day. So you're building upon it. And then the next day you say, okay, now I'm used to going around the block. Now let me extend. Let me do 2 blocks. And then you see how 2 blocks treats you. You win because all you are trying to do is win the small battles, right? Once you won the small battles, then you are able to reward yourself and target a bigger goal. Is everybody still with me in terms of setting the goal and breaking it down into smaller fragments so that you are able to achieve it in that way? Now, the next point on limitations on goals. We are told that there are things that we cannot achieve. If you listen to the news, you'll hear high rates of unemployment. You will hear people are being retrenched from their jobs. You will hear that entrepreneurs are struggling. You will hear how government is not supporting small businesses. You will hear how schools are dysfunctional, they don't have resources, and all of that. The more you listen to that and take it in, the more it breaks you down and you feel like you cannot. What's the point? But if you focus, there are 2 terms I'd like to share with you: micro, which is MICRO, and macro, which is MACRO. Micro, you focus on the smaller things. So let's take you and the place where you stay at, your home. If you look at your home in that context, um, it's a macro environment. And if you want to bring about a change in the home, even though you're a child, you can then say, how can I influence my micro environment, the smaller one? The smaller one, where do you have control? That is you. How can you influence a change within yourself? Once you influence a change within yourself, you then influence a change in the immediate environment around you. How do you get yourself clean? How do you keep your environment clean? So then you are moving away from the micro into the macro, the home. But if we then take things in context, your home is a micro environment, and then you have the township, the suburb where you stay. That's the macro environment. Again, when you want to influence, you start with the micro and then you go to the macro. Sometimes when you focus on the micro and you're doing a lot of things there right, it will on its own have replications into the macro. Now, coming back to the limitations on goals and what I've shared, everything we hear in the news about our economy, it is a macro environment. What do we have control over? It's our lives, the micro environment. So you then focus on influencing your micro environment. That is yourself, the people around you, and your society, your suburb, and everything else. From there, things will spiral into bigger things. Now, all the things that we hear on the news, if you follow them and you take them to heart, they will place a limitation on your goals. They will tell you you cannot afford to dream to be a trillionaire, right? I'm not even talking about a millionaire or a billionaire. I'm talking about a trillionaire. A trillionaire is possible for any of us to do that. And if we don't believe it, we have already placed limitations on ourselves. All we need to do is believe that we can. And then we work towards influencing and changing our micro environment through the goals that we set. Our goals can be big. We can have big goals, we can have medium goals, we can have small goals. And all we need to do is take the small wins. When we take the small wins and we escalate into bigger wins and bigger wins and bigger wins, then we end up getting into the macro space. If, for example, you want to be richer than Bill Gates or Elon Musk, you know where you have to start. Either make or save a little daily, which will then accumulate to the billions and the trillions. So the limitations on our goals, we should not allow anyone else outside of our space to place those upon us. Especially this phrase, which I'm sure you all are familiar with. The youth are our, excuse me, the youth are our future leaders. What does that tell you? It says, as a youth, you cannot and should not think of being a leader now, but you must wait until you are an adult. Only then can you start thinking of being a leader, which then takes me to my next slide, the definition of youth. The definition of youth is nothing but a time of life when one is young. And we will never be young forever. Even though we may be young at heart, we may be young in how we feel in our bodies, but youth does not last forever. So we must use the energy that we have to build upon it so that we escalate and become the leaders that we want to be. Now, referring to my previous slide, when people say, you are our future leaders, I always beg to differ with that and say, you are the leaders we need today. Why should you any of you not be in parliament today, why should you not be influencing the political landscape today as the youth? Look at what the youth of 76 did. Look at the youth, how they've always been able to change the landscape. The fees must fall movement. It was started by the youth, and the youth led in mind. And that's another thing I just want to touch on quickly. If you have an ideal that you believe in, and you are faced with the opportunity of staying or stating your case or protesting against the system, why do you need to disrespect and insult the person you're working with in order to prove to when you have a point? If you know and you're confident in the quality of your content and your argument, you will engage respectfully so. At university or tertiary, we see students calling the leaders, yeah, this one, and we go on and insulting them. What's stopping you from being respectful in your disagreements, even with your elder in any place, right? All you do is you are frustrated, but you still need to make a point. So in making a point, you simply say, and don't use this terminology of saying with all due respect, because then you are saying, I'm going to disrespect you, but I'm claiming that I have this respect. You simply say ma or baba or prof or sir or meneer or ma'am. I do not agree with this point because. So you always engaging someone in a respectful manner. In any person that you engage with, teach yourself to be respectful because that is one of the measures of a good leader. Strive to be a good leader. We have seen, and I will put this out to you, and I would like you to prove me wrong, that the politicians we see today do not have any interest in making our lives better, especially your lives as the youth better. Had they had that in mind and had that been their vision, things would be far much better for the youth today. And then we shall move to the next slide. So here's a poll, right? What are you dreaming about achieving this year? What is your gift to the world? Do you even know what your gift is? Right? How is this yes year helping you achieve your goal? Why do you deserve a youth at work jacket? And that's an incentive, by the way. Now, let's take these questions one at a time. What are you dreaming about achieving this year? Remember, what you dream about, you must put deadlines, and those deadlines transfer your dream into the realm of being a goal. What is your gift to the world? If you don't know it now, it's okay to admit that you don't know it. If you think your gift is X and later on in your life you realize that your gift is Y, it is okay because life changes every day and you need to allow yourself and give room for growth and change. So this year has been declared as the yes year. In this yes year, what are you hoping to achieve? How are you going to achieve your goals? Think about those things.
Just a moment,
Yeah.
Mr. Zibuse.
Yeah.
I've also attached the survey on the comment section, so you guys can click the link and complete the poll questions on the survey.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So this survey basically will help you understand yourself better. You will reflect on who you are and where you're going. And again, don't think of yourself as tomorrow's leaders. You are today's leaders. You are what the world needs today. You were not born for tomorrow. You were born for today. So focus on today. What are you born for? What is your purpose? What is it that you were gifted with when you came into this world? Dina, would you like me to go to the next slide or give the participants
Can
a
we,
chance to
yeah,
complete the survey?
yeah, can we perhaps give them 2 more minutes? And in the meantime, can we answer people who might have questions? Because I see a few hands are raised.
Okay, let's take the hands.
Percy, Sharon, you've raised your hand. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Percy Nontsikelelo Mbewana, you guys can unmute yourself or put it on the comment section.
I wasn't asking a question.
Oh, sorry.
Hello?
Fine.
Yes, you can speak.
I wasn't asking a question. I've raised my hand while I was saying hi.
Oh, okay. Wow. Hello to you. Sorry about that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi, Ntsikelelo.
Hello. Hi. It's Penny. Like, can you hear me? The
Yes.
network is very bad.
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. I'm from Agrotech. We've been funded by the Toyota Yes Youth Program. We're able to find like spirit. Hello.
Yes, you can continue together.
Okay, so I hear here like the first say like we must know what must be like our post with like in God in Christ. Must know like everything that you do. So my question is, let's say having a purpose in Christ, eh?
Yes.
Then sometimes you feel like you just you yourself, even sometimes you keep trying, it's like you keep going back, like you keep praying and you keep fighting, you keep having, and some people like they do things easy, like jump like easy, everything just becomes so easy for them. Like, how could you have that mentality in your head? Like, what can we do? Like, because it doesn't mean since we are in hot sites that we're already having jobs. Some of us, they were going to be unemployed again. Some of us, they were going to be employed. So we are not the same. Though we can have visions, having goals, everyone wants a better thing. How could we handle that situation when it arrived? Because it's very painful. Like I said, here in our host site, let's say we are 20. But at the end of the day, maybe our employee would say he wants 1 or 2. Then the rest of us, we're going down again to the unemployed. How are we going to deal with that? Like maybe how we will deal with that? How maybe you can give us some advices.
Okay, I think I've got the question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take the question.
Okay.
So Nantsikelelo, it starts from the point you mentioned prayer. You can't pray and say,
Yes.
"Dear God, can I please be can somebody just mute there? I think it's Nyakale. Thank you. You can't say, "Dear God, can you please make me a millionaire?" And you're only talking with your mouth, but your heart and mind are saying, "Mara, right now, I may not have a job tomorrow. Mara, right now, you know, you are saying one thing with your mouth, but your mind is believing something else. Whatever you are going to pray for, you must. Isiboniso. So firstly, you must first believe what you want to pray for. So saying you want a job and you want to be permanent where you are placed, firstly, you have to see yourself being permanent. You have to see yourself working there, doing whatever it is that's needed to be done. But even then, doing far more than everybody else is doing. You have to see yourself 5, 2, maybe 3 years from today in that position, that you are in that position today. And you also write it down, and then you can pray. Because the Bible tells us that by the mouth of two, every word shall be established. We are creating witnesses. Now, if you pray and you don't believe, then you are nothing less than a double-minded person, and a double-minded person will not receive. So that's what I'm putting to you. I'm challenging you to first don't look at what you see now, but create the future you want, and then put it out there by asking for it.
Oh, thanks so much. Thank you.
So, but now I'm gonna hold you accountable. You are talking about being placed, and now I'm saying to you, challenging you and saying, see yourself permanent, and see yourself having an impact and an influence in that company or in that site. Not even just in 2 years or in 1 year. 3 months from now, see yourself doing that 3 months from now, and hold on to that and see what happens. Do you accept that challenge, Ntsikelelo?
Yes, I do. I do, Stephen. Thank you very much. Thank
Good.
you.
So now it is all in your hands. You know that when you are praying, this is what you are praying for, but don't pray if you don't believe it. Oh, and by the way, when you start praying for it, there will be things that will come your way that will try to convince you that when you are crazy, that when you don't deserve this, who are you to pray for that? Hold on to that picture in your mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mr. Zibuse. That was really profound. Yeah, I must say, I also personally have learned something from today's session, and I hope everyone here have also gained such great knowledge. Yeah, it's very great. Thanks, Mr. Zibuse, for that and answering that. It was quite great.
Yeah, I see there's another question from Usnentlantla H. He says, I've been dreaming, but I don't have enough resources to pursue my dream, and I don't even have a mentor or a person to talk to who can help me or connect me with the suitable people. Again, I throw it back to you, Snintlant. You are saying you don't have. So already your mind is focused on your lack. You are focusing on what you don't have. Forget about what you don't have. Forget about the resources that you don't have. Forget about the mentor that you don't have. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you can do. Focus on the mentor you want. Go online, go wherever. See who you can find that you want them to be your mentor, and make them your mentor in your mind and believe that they are. Picture yourself having conversations with them. Picture them mentoring you. And picture yourself getting those resources. Don't worry about how. Picture yourself getting those resources. And when you get down to praying, pray for those things after you have believed them. Once you're done with your praying, with your asking, be thankful for those things. Be thankful. Feel like if you're praying for maybe like a business, né? See yourself in that business. See yourself employing 50, 100, 200, 3,000 people. See yourself doing that and hold on to it. That no matter what happens, no matter how things no matter how difficult things may get, you have this vision in your mind, and you know that this is what I'm focusing on. Nothing is going to move me away from this goal. I am going for it, and it is going to happen. I see Galaxy A02 has a question, and you've got your video on.
Hey guys. Hello? Hello?
Ah, we can
Hi,
hear
please,
you.
and please introduce yourself.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Maria Damini from the company Mr Zibuse Kunene. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hi, there's a bit of background noise on your side. I'm not sure if it's the people or if you can perhaps use.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Proceed.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
I think he's having problems with the network.
Let me move this. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. I got a question here. What I want to say is that, as you said about our goals, that you need to have our goals for this year, and also we have to know our talents. What I want to say, what I want to say is that it's hard to find the talent, even that you have the talent, but it's hard, to achieve it and to, to achieve it, because every time we try to do that, we don't get like experience, or we don't get hiring in other companies, because guys, that every time we try to apply for jobs or apply for to do experience, leadership and all kind of things like that, we don't get it because they are saying, or they're posting like fake things. Can you hear me?
We're still listening.
Okay,
Still
they are
listening.
posting things, and even that you find the leadership, they say they need a license or the experience.
It's at one.
So how can we hello?
No.
Continue.
Yes.
Why did you find me? Okay.
I thought you
They
knew
say they
because
need
of
5
the
years of
invite says it's
experience
one.
or 2 years experience. So my question
Dineo,
is
please
that
mute yourself.
every time that we try.
Yeah, but you can still join in. We have like 15 minutes left.
Okay, so have you done it? So every time that we try to work hard to achieve our goals or to show our talents, to find our talents, we don't get to be hired in other companies. Hello?
Okay, I hear you. I hear you.
Let's
just
doors for our
I thought you
new
knew.
guys.
Sorry, let's just get Dineo. Dineo, can you please mute yourself?
I did.
Dineo, please mute.
Well done.
Thank you. All right. Sorry, Sisi, you didn't. What was your name again?
Pumelele.
Pumelele. Now, Pumelele, already from
Yes.
your voice, I hear lost hope. I hear despondency. I hear that you've already surrendered to the challenges that are facing you, that are around you. And if you approach me as an employer with that mindset, your body already shows ukuthi wena you are hopeless. Your body shows ukuthi you don't have confidence that you can get what you are coming to me to ask for. So it tells me that you don't believe in what you possess, even though you don't know what you possess. But what you possess already is a mind that is working. And there's sometimes the thing about confidence is when you don't have it, and you also allow yourself to drown in your lack of confidence, then it follows through in your demeanor, in your face, in your body posture. So let me share something about me. Not the kind of person who likes to deceive or who likes to ogangayo, if you get what I'm saying. And whenever I'm around people, people have the natural proclivity to trusting me. I've allowed myself to be a listener, and people already perceive that in me, and they allow themselves to listen to me when I speak. So, again, I'm not going to give you a solution, but I'm going to give you a challenge as well. Sit down, list the things that you are good at, things that you know that you're good at. List all of those things down and read them to yourself over and over and believe them. Once you've believed them and you know that you are good in those things, approach someone, maybe an employer or your boss or your supervisor or whoever that you report to. You approach them with the confidence of what you already know about you. So you then say to them, I would like to do A, B, C, and this in this company because I know I can add value here and there. And then see what happens. But when you go there and you approach them as someone already believing in what you have. If you don't believe it, don't bother. Don't come to me. If don't even bother going anywhere else until you believe that when by yourself you are capable, no one else will believe you. Right now, I like what I'm seeing. Some people have switched on their videos, and you can tell some are disinterested, some I feel like they're just cruising and they don't have that oomph. Yoguti, you know what? I'm feeling this, or I disagree, or I agree, and I want to move with this forward. You know, your posture, how you sit, it says so much about you. I'm glad that you're adjusting your posture. So, what I'd like you to do, have a power posture. Have you seen a boss, someone who's confident, someone who is a billionaire, how they sit, how they present themselves? You lift your shoulders, you push your chest, you have a power pose. Let me just switch on my video. You know, you conduct yourself in a manner that says, I know what I'm talking about. I'm confident in, even though you don't know, even though you don't think you have what it takes, but go out there and say it, right? There is this power posture. Have you ever seen somebody sitting like this, confidently so, and rocking on a chair? They know themselves, they know what they are capable of. But if you're going to sit like this and you speak and you kind of like, you know, it's boring. Nobody wants to listen to that. Imagine me if I was sitting and like, yeah, Mara, you know, guys, me now I don't want to. Hey, life is tough, but fit. But if I say, guys, you know what, life is hard, but I'm fighting it, and I'm going there. Wouldn't you want to listen to me? Wouldn't you want to listen to me? Same as when somebody wants to be confrontational and they come to you and go, hey, you know that this person is being confrontational simply by their body language. So adjust your body language. I think your position, think how you want to portray yourself. At every point in time, think about how the other person is seeing you. Think about your body language, how you are taking the message within and conveying it outside. Right. Do we get it, guys? You see, I see Usfiso.
Mr. Kunene.
Hello, how are you, Erica?
Hello, can I interrupt?
Yes, please.
I just want to thank you. I know I came in a little bit later, but I heard from you, I heard about you, and I'm receiving your morning messages from Sister Letta.
Yes.
On the Ubuntu chat. And I'm so grateful that you have accepted the invitation to come and speak to all of us. and that you've shared this hour with us. And I don't know whether you will be willing to share some of your morning thoughts with us so that we can sit up straight and listen and have that morning motivation.
Yeah.
Because that would really, really be awesome. You can see that there are, there's 263 devices linked, and I know that there are many of you sitting together. So on this recorded session, there are at least 400 people who are listening in, and we're going to send the recording to 3,000 people with your permission and put it up on our website. So we have a wide reach, and you have an amazing way of conveying these messages, simply, easy to understand, and in bite-sized chunks. So
Yes.
I invite you, are you able to, and will you share that with us?
By all means, I'm willing to. Dineo has my number. Maybe what I can do, I can add Dineo and yourself onto the list. And then when you receive it, you can share it, or we can find other ways of sharing it. And if I may just share, the morning thoughts have seen an evolution over the years, but the impact that they've had over the years has been phenomenal. I've heard of how one guy was in a depressive state, and just by reading the morning thoughts and challenging his mindset, he got out of that state. I'm getting
Absolutely. So
it's
I would
overwhelming.
thank you for that. It is, and we are so grateful to have you as our first speaker for the year and for setting up that topic. Guys, we are going to make this information available on our website. The recording will be up on our website, and the morning messages can go out on the WhatsApp groups. And by now, I'm really excited if you've received, I hope you've all received the message on the WhatsApp group about the polls, because they've been strategic questions for you to really pause, think, and share. And if you haven't done them, send Dineo. You've got our hotline number. Dineo, did you put it up earlier, or should we put it up again in the chat to really save us as a contact on that hotline number, save Youth at Work, and answer those polls, get the questions again. Dineo is online to help you and for us to be able to receive those responses back from you. And the important thing is, if you're not on the WhatsApp group, to really get onto the WhatsApp group, because it is an information of sharing, and that we can constantly then share the morning messages from Mr. Kunene to you as a motivation, as something that you can take and also reshare and input it with your friends. So I know we are running close to the end of the hour. That's why I've rudely interrupted. I want to stay on time with the session so that you can go back to the important work that you are doing.
Hi, Erica.
I just really also want to say to all of you that we value. Yes, Daniel.
Mr. Zibuse just went offline. He says he's on load shedding. He's just experiencing load shedding, so he's offline now.
Thank you. Daniel, did you put our hotline number in the chat, please, so that everybody who did not get the link can still access it a little bit later and respond?
Yes, I'm putting it now. They can access it.
Okay, so then I would like to go to the next bit and to say to you, every first Thursday of the month, we will have a guest speaker like Mr. Kunene. So our commitment to you this year is to keep on having these sessions. You will have every first Thursday of the month. Please make sure that you diarize 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock. Also, this time we sent an email to all your supervisors, but we will continue to send an email to the supervisors so that they remember and they can give you time off work so that you can log in and participate. It also is a time for us to not only celebrate you, but also reward you. So who wants a jacket? Remember these nice Youth at Work jackets? Who wants a jacket like this? Ah, there's a couple of hands that are going up. Okay, guys, well done. If you've completed the survey, oh, I see all the hands going up. Yep. So if you have completed the survey, it means you are in line for the lucky draw. Okay, so we are going to take 5 people out of that lucky draw. And we will make it fair. We will take the numbers and we'll work a way of making it fair, and then send you your jackets. Now, just a disclaimer, guys, once we choose the lucky winners, we will let you know, and then you'll give us your size, but we are out of size extra large. I'm happy to see, I see a lot of small, mediums and larges over there, but size extra large is already out of stock and we can't get news, but I'm sure the other jackets will fit you. So that's what we're going to do. Also, we have not forgotten about the competition we ran last year when we asked you all to complete a survey. That survey information was really invaluable, and those competition winners will also have a choice of getting the Allison courses or getting a jacket, and then we will contact you and send them out. So for a last session, for a last wish, thank you very, very much for joining. It's always absolutely amazing seeing. I want to encourage you this year to be your best self, to really, really bring yourself to the party, come to work every day, do amazing good work, and work towards your future. The session was about goal setting, it was about setting your intentions, and also it was about how to achieve those goals so that they don't be there, but they actually are doable. So please use the time tonight and in your weekends and free time to really define what it is you want to do, and keep on showing up at work, because the discipline of work, the reward for getting a salary at the end of the day, for practicing what you are doing, for learning new skills, for asking questions, all of that is the richness also of the YES program. And then the next thing that we're going to do differently this year is we're trying to give every cohort a session per month to really guide you through induction, and then employment guidelines, and then month 3 best practice sessions where you start doing all the talking, and then all the other things. So there will be a guided, structured program once a month. I also want to remind you, please, it's really, really important that you stick to your part of the deal, which is showing up at work every day and sending those attendance registers every Friday. And if you have been sick, to stick that sick note on there, and to really see that your colleagues and your friends are also doing us. Help us to have the documentation to prove to the funders that you really are there and that you are doing the amazing work. Okay, so now let me see. Have I got your commitment on that? Guys, every Friday attendance registers. Can you give me a thumbs up? Every day, come to work. Let's change the hand to the thumbs up. Fantastic. Okay, so you're going to show up. I can't see too many thumbs up. Whoa. Okay, where are all the thumbs up? Okay, and we're going to do this together. We're going to be there doing sessions for you. You're going to keep on showing up, and together we are going to find new jobs, new workplaces, companies, and everything else. It really is. You are the change. Together we are the change. Right. And finally, everybody, please switch on your cameras. Danielle, we need to get a beautiful selfies of the different screens, please. Everybody, unmute yourself. Let's hear your voices. Let's say goodbye and let's smile.
Bye.